Hello again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe if you'd like to join the fun and paint along, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Alright, so this week we are mixing it up, and rather than painting on our standard canvas or canvas boards, we're going to be using these gorgeous wood chips with their lovely natural edge. But these are going to be beautiful ornaments, and you can use any sort of round wooden disc or another shape if you would prefer for these ornaments, but I'm going to be using these wood rounds today. And the colors that I have on my piece of palette paper for the first part of today's tutorial, I have some white, some red, a little tiny bit of purple, some cobalt blue, and then this is actually a metallic gold. We're really getting creative today. So this is a metallic gold craft paint that we're gonna play around with. If you don't have metallic colors and you don't wanna go grab anything else, it's perfectly fine to use beige when we get to that step. All right, so I have my 3 brushes from my brush kit that I recommend. These are the 3 smaller sizes. I'm gonna get those in the water cup off the side of the screen. And then I also have for today a trusty old toothbrush that I'm going to use for some awesome splatter painting for a gorgeous snow flurry. All right, if you'd like to see a full materials list of everything that you need to paint along, check the description box below. Let's go ahead and jump on in. So we're just starting with the backgrounds, and I'm gonna start with my fun gold paint and my largest brush that I have here. And I'm just going to choose one of my wood rounds, whatever I feel like would be the cuter one for my bell painting. So today we have a cute little landscape, and then we also have a cute little silver bells painting. Like they are cute little bells adorning our Christmas trees. And I'm going to bring my color all the way to the wooden edge here, but I'm not going to cover it just because I think it looks really pretty to have sort of like a little frame right there on the wood slice. So when you're at the craft store or shopping online, there's going to be a lot of options for ornaments. Some already are like ready to go, ornament shaped with little holes drilled in the top for some sort of wire or something like that to actually hang it to the tree. What I usually do at the end is just attach some ribbon to the back and a little loop and just glue it there with hot glue or super glue. But these are also really pretty little just painting medallions that you could just put on, you know, like your windowsill or a hearth or something like that. If you don't even want to make them into ornaments, they're just cute little mini winter paintings as well. Okay, so I was very careful there to bring it to the edge, and that has a nice gold sheen. Very pretty, very fun. Just mixing it up today. I had this gold paint, so I figured, you know, this is the perfect thing for this. And it took me a while to decide what background color to do the silver bells. So I tried green, and then you couldn't see the trees. And then I tried red, and the berries got lost. So I decided to use gold, but like I said, so tan, just a little bit of burnt sienna type warm brown with some white and yellow, and you'll get something that's a similar color to this, a beige, kind of sandy beige, without it being metallic, not quite as fun. Okay, so now we're gonna do our second background. This one was gonna be a little tiny bit trickier, but we're gonna go every step of the way through it here. All right, so I'm gonna start by mixing up a little bit of a light blue. I want to have a little bit of pigment because there's going to be a lot of white in this painting, so I don't want to go too light. I want to have a nice colorful background. And this is going to be a little bit different than usual because we have to be careful about going around the edge if we want to have that nice frame. And then also the paint dries into the wood quicker. So you're gonna have to move quick here. And remember what I say, every brush stroke matters. So you want all of your brush strokes going the same direction in each little area. So for instance, in the sky, we're going back and forth. So all of my brush strokes are back and forth here. A little bit of water, not too much water, probably less water than we'd use on a canvas. Okay, and I've gone maybe about a quarter of the way down there. And I'm gonna take some white now and just lighten it up a little bit. And I'm gonna bring some light purple in as well. Very pretty. And just kind of mix that right in together. Just the white just helping with the opacity a little bit. Don't want to see through here, and we want to blend the colors together ideally, but with this wood texture, it's a little bit trickier. So it might be a little bit streaky, but that's okay because these colors are next to each other on the color wheel, so they're pretty simple to blend together. So you can come up into your blue with your purple, and then vice versa. Bring the blue down into the purple again if you need to. I'm just gonna go back and forth there a little bit for a little bit of a play between those colors. And they should blend pretty easily into one another, trying to not go too far into my little frame area. Small details today. Okay, I'm gonna bring now some pink right underneath the purple, and again, pink and purple. That's halfway between, purple's halfway between pink and blue, red and blue. Just adding white to things today, but we're just walking our way from one color to the other. If you remember on your color wheel, I do have a course on Skillshare about color theory if you need a refresher and you'd like to learn a little bit more about how to blend colors. And I also have a Skillshare link in the description box below for my students for 1 month free, so you can check that out for free and check out some other good stuff on Skillshare while you're at it. Okay, bringing that pink into the purple, same idea, just want you to blend those colors together. Being very, very light-handed. Trying to get all the brush strokes consistent. And it's okay if you bring your pink a little bit up into the sky for some nice sort of like streaky clouds. I think that looks good and sort of breaks it all up too, so that it's not too smooth and perfect. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of white on that same brush, cleaned it, and we're just gonna do this bottom part here with white for our snow. Super simple, and you want to come up into the pink a little bit, but you don't want to pull it into the white too much. And since these are little circles, I'm just kind of turning my little wood slice here as I go, just to make the going easier for me. Okay, nice and smooth. Very pretty colors. Nice clean frame, and a little bit of a slope on one side and on the other one, just like so, building up that snow a little bit. How cute. All right, those look really good. Let's go ahead now and let these layers dry, and then we'll come back for the second part of the class and finish them up. I'll see everyone in a few. Okay, welcome back, artists. We have two dry backgrounds and fresh colors on the piece of palette paper here. So this time I have black and white, a little bit of my phthalo green, a little bit of a burnt sienna warm brown, and then also some cadmium red. I rinsed my brushes and got some fresh water at break as well. Let's go ahead and jump right back on in. All right, let's see. I'm gonna grab my smallest brush. Small details today, and we're gonna start with this guy. It's a little bit easier than the other guy. Neither are too tricky though, so no worries. Gonna grab some black, and I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of brown and make a nice dark brown. Maybe have a pinch of white in there too. A little bit more brown. All right, and this is gonna be a tree trunk color. And my first tree I'm gonna have be further off in the distance. Then it's gonna be coming up a little bit into the horizon. I'm gonna have an ever so slightly curved base, and this is a very, very small detail here, very, very tiny tree. And I'm going to, again, move the little round rather than needing to change my hand position. There we have the little tree trunk, and I've started to go off in some directions here with some branches. We're just going to take those up a couple different ways. We're just going to make a cute little tree. Can never go wrong with a cute little tree. And there'll be little side branches coming off from the sides. Keep it nice and random, rather than like trying to create anything symmetrical. Okay, just cute little tree. Don't have to get too technical here, too crazy. I'm gonna grab a little bit of a lighter color and do a quick highlight down a couple of the main branches as well. Just teeny tiny little highlight color actually does make a difference. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit of gray. So just black and white together. And then I have a little sort of shadow right around where the tree is poking out of the cute snow. Okay, and now for the second tree, it's a little bit bigger. I think I'm gonna start with this brush, the second to smallest detail brush. Same color, blackish brown. And this one is gonna be here closer to the foreground, but it's gonna have the same sort of curved bottom of just the tree trunk covered with snow at the bottom. Little peekaboo tree there, buried with snow. Okay. And same idea as our little one. Just creating branches from there. I think I'm actually gonna grab little one. Smaller brushes are always gonna give you more control, but it'll also take a lot longer. Okay. Just a couple different main branches. A little bit thick there. I'll try to taper it off gently. All right, looking good. And the tips of the branches here are going to be covered with snow, so it's not too imperative to have them look perfect. Okay. And that looks pretty good. Let's do a little bit of a highlight Just taking a little bit of white into that same dark brown. And just doing a quick highlight down some of the branches. Just makes it a little bit more interesting. You can add some more dark color if you want a little too heavy-handed. Kind of balance it slightly. Pretty subtle. A little bit of gray around the base of this tree as well. Very cute. All right, let's add some snow to our tree now. Just some white and that same baby brush. We're gonna come in here and add a little bit of snow on all of the parts where gravity would have brought it, right? So on kind of all the top parts here of our little branches, little sections there. And in the parts where you kind of have a V, the snow is going to kind of build up in a V shape. Just like so. Look at how cute. I think that really adds that snowy look. Like we're looking out of our window at fresh snow on a field. That was the idea. A little bit of snow gathered in each little area. Okay, looking cute. All right, gonna add snow to the top parts of the tree as well. Gonna grab my second to smallest brush for this, and I have just white, and I'm just gonna create little dots all around here for all those tiny little branches that will be covered with snow as well. Beautiful white landscape with that warm sunrise color. I'm a morning person, so seeing fresh snow in the morning is one of my favorite feelings. The fresh cup of coffee, all my favorite things. Coffee, mornings, snow. And a nice view. Okay, just tapping that white all along where those little branches would be. Little circles stacked on top of each other. Super cute. All right. And now we're gonna do a little road, or a little fence rather, with our small brush again. And I'm gonna take that same dark black brown color, and our fence is gonna go kind of in between these two trees. So the first one will be really small, and it will be on the horizon line, just like so. And then we're gonna stay up and down, very important. Okay, straight up and down, but we're going to go on a diagonal here. Small details today. And they're gonna get bigger the further we go down, till eventually it goes off of the little wood. Okay. And then we'll have a little connector line as well, coming from the side, going through the top. And then also sort of the middle. Going off the horizon. Very cute. Very, very light highlights if you can, in a couple of, at least the ones towards the front. I'll go ahead and put it on all of it. Just for a little secondary tone. And a little bit of gray around each of our little posts. They're buried in the snow as well. And maybe a little bit of sort of just gray fluffiness here and there in the snow. Let's grab the medium brush for that actually. Very, very, very light. Yeah, just for a little bit of a second color within all of our snow. Just making sure that I have nice coverage power. I think I'm gonna make this tree a little bit more narrow. Can always adjust with acrylic painting. That looks good. All right, cute. And then the final touches on this one, that's so cute. We're gonna grab the back of our brush and do a little bit of snow flurry sort of around our trees and in the sky a little bit. These are like big flakes of snow. And then we're gonna do a tiny little splatter to finish this one off. Make sure that we bring our other one far away for this. And I'm gonna take a little bit of water into my white paint here. Mix off a little batch to the side. And then I'm gonna grab my toothbrush, get it nice and soaked into all the paint. And then I'm gonna do a little diagonal splatter right in the middle, just for some additional snow flurry. On either side. All right, look at how cute and snowy and cozy that one looks. All right, I'm gonna bring on our silver bells. We can go ahead and put this cute little sunrise snowy morning to the side, and let's go ahead and jump into our second one. All right, so I'm gonna be starting with my second to smallest detail brush for this one. And I'm gonna mix up a light, medium green, not too light actually. We wanna get that beautiful sort of teal, Christmassy pine color here. And I'm going to kind of center my ornament, and then I'm gonna start from the side here with little brush strokes, just little flicks of the wrist coming from the side. So it's like our tree is right here on this side, and we have these little sprigs coming out. And sometimes it's easier to kind of work from the outside in with the brush strokes rather than the inside out, whatever works for you. Okay, that looks pretty good. There's one little sprig. I'm gonna have a sprig kind of coming out from the center. Tiny bit of water just to help the paint go smooth. I like already the way that the green looks on the gold. Okay, just working my way across. I don't want to get too much of a pattern, I want to keep it random. Come back and kind of add to it here and there. Okay, looks pretty good. I went off the side a tiny bit there, that's all right. See if I can clean it up a tiny bit. A little bit. It's okay. A little bit more green paint Okay. My second sprig. I have one more coming out from the center, more little area, very cute, and then one coming from the top as well. I think the green just shows up very nicely on the gold, and I think it's cool to have the mix of the metallic finish paints with the normal acrylic sort of matte paints, because I like the way that the two textures play with each other. Okay, that looks good. So we went almost halfway over there. I'm gonna grab a little bit of white as a highlight and just a tiny pinch of green, very light, minty, light green. I'm gonna come in with a highlight color right on top of the brush strokes that I just did with my darker green. Little highlights. And if you go too heavy-handed anywhere, just touch it up with the darker green again. Just giving some TLC to our tree. Very light tap pressure with my brush. When I was in kindergarten, the art teacher told us, pretend like you're painting the back of a bug. You don't want to squish the bug. So don't squish the bug. Very light pressure, no bug squishing. Okay. Almost gives the feel of like a flocked Christmas tree, but it's just going for like a highlight. But snow is fine too. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, very cute. Gonna grab my smallest brush again for my bells. All right, and I'm gonna sketch them out with white. This part can be a little bit technical. I want to have one bell almost centered, like a little bit further to the left, and then I'll have another one pretty much dead center in this open space here, so off to the right. And I'm going to start with the curve of the bell, and it's going to go into the green a little bit, and that's okay. For the sketching, but once we start to fill in, we'll want to make sure that it can be a nice solid gray. Just going to bring that shape down like so, and then I'm going to curve it out a bit on either side, trying to balance it as best as I can for that bell shape. Okay, and then the bottom part, we're gonna have an oval for the inside part of the bell. Okay, so that's the shape that we're going for. About like so. Just this initial shape. Okay, looks pretty good. And then right underneath this bell, we'll have our second bell. And that'll start with the curved part also. That one looks a little bigger. I don't want to go too wide. And you want to try to make them the same size as much as possible. Bell shape like so. So when we're filling in, we might make the other one a little bit bigger because that shape's not so bad. But this one will need to be adjusted slightly. So let's go ahead and start filling in. I think I'm going to use this tiny little brush to fill in. And we're just going to go with a medium gray. So we're actually going for like a silver bells. Silver bells, silver bells. That's what we're going for today. Holiday vibes all the way. Okay, now as I fill this one in with gray, I'm gonna make it a little bit wider to try to match it with this guy. And maybe even a little bit taller as well. And just getting that filled in to the outside sketch line. Nice and clean. Okay, we're just filling in the face here, the front part. And that shape's a little bit easier to see now. Yeah, they look pretty similar. And just filling in this one now to match as best as possible. Okay. And what's funny is we're using gold paint for the background, but then gray for our silver. But that's because I thought of adding the metallics after the fact. Last minute creative moment. But you could use a metallic silver for the bells too, and that would look really cool. But I think it will also look cool to have, again, the differences in the sheen. It just makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay, gonna take a darker gray now for the inside part. For that little oval. Very, very small details today, working in these small little rounds. Nice and clean. Since they are small details, the details matter today. Okay, looking good. Going to come around each of these shapes with that slightly darker gray as well. And grab that darker color. And we're gonna do a little bit of shadows on one side of the bell. Just like so. And then right in the curve on the other side a little bit as well. Very slight. Okay, and then we're gonna take some white and go right along the front edge, like so. A little bit around the back edge. A little bit of shine right in the front. Important part. We'll go ahead and let that be for now. We'll do now the same thing to the other one and try to make these match, but I can tell this guy is a little bigger. But that's okay. It's gonna have to be. All right, and let's see what we can do though. Helps to turn things to the side too when you're trying to make things even. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. And quick little outline. Trying to keep the shapes similar as I sort of finesse things. I'm gonna take some white here in the front right now. And then add my shadows. Onto the left side. And then working our way across. A little bit of shiny white, my favorite part. There on the curve of the bell. So cute. I'm gonna grab a little bit of black now for the little ringy part. Don't know what the name is. Part that makes the bell chime. Little black circle, pretty simple. I think I'm gonna do a red ribbon. I'm also going to use this red for some holly berries. So just gonna grab a little bit of red and I'm gonna do a few holly berries here as decor on my tree. However many you like. Adds a little festive element for sure. So cute. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit of white. I'm gonna take a nice little swipe whoop around each of those little circles that I just created. Including these little holly berries. They're pretty small and they're probably still slightly wet. You can let it dry if you want to be more patient than I'm being. But if it's a little bit blended to pink, that's okay too. Okay. Looking good. And I think I'm gonna go with white. I'm gonna go along the top part here of our bell and just bring it to the top part of the canvas, mini canvas. White line here, like so, just connecting everything. And there we have our two adorable little ornaments. Let me know what you thought of the ornament painting in the comment section below. I know that they've been popular in the past. I'd love to hear from you about. And then I think I'll do a little black line or dark gray right next to the white as well. Just so that it's nice and visible. A little graphic design trick. Black and white always show up on any background when they're together. All right, there we have it. Super cute, two little adorable ornaments. And that's all the instruction that I have for us this week. So let me know what you thought of today's painting in the comment section below. Oh, and if you painted along today, I do have a Facebook group called the Art Club. Love to have you over there so that you can share your work and we can see what you're creating, whether it be from painting along or just from your own imagination. Can't wait to see it. All right, everyone, that's all I have for us this week. So until next time, stay creative.